Hey, we're live. All right. Okay, close this out. Pull up everything else for the chat. Hit the like button.
Who are you betting on?
Ooh, tonight. This morning? Oh, geez. Mornings are hard. I don't know.
Kelly is first.
Kelly Taylor. I would have never guessed it was Kelly.
Oh,
Hey, good morning, Kelly. How you doing?
yeah. It's a busy morning for both Paul and I. Paul's got things to do, and
Yep. Hey, good morning, Filipina.
Filipina.
It's not going to be too long of a stream today. I got 2 aerials to do this morning, and Paul's got a doctor's appointment. Kelly said she's staying up a bit late tonight, sore and can't sleep. Well, that's not good.
So it's 10 o'clock. No, sorry to hear that, Kelly. Hey, there's Marshall.
Hey, good morning, Marshall.
So Filipina, how are things going with you? You been getting any flying in or anything? Or I know you got to work sometime.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause I think she had a new video that says, I'm going to take you to a place you've never been before or something. Her latest video.
Yep, I saw it. It was really good. She does some fantastic stuff for sure.
No, Grace. No.
You know, some people have an eye for it and some people don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're bad. It's just that you either have, you can learn to be better at things, but it's some people it comes more naturally, I guess.
Hey, good morning. Mike Rennick is in the house. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, we were just saying there a few minutes ago, Mike, it's going to be a bit of a short stream probably this morning because both of us have got things to do. I got 2 real estate jobs I got to do this morning, and Paul's got a doctor's appointment. So,
If I go.
you're going.
And I was just sitting here thinking maybe I should call the doctor's office and reschedule.
No. Well, you were having problems last night. You should go and get checked out. And Mr. Gasman is in the thing here someplace. Hey, Justin.
There he is. Morning, Justin.
Morning.
You out hard at it already?
Yeah.
You're on your 3-hour trip or an hour and a half trip or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, I still have about another 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
kind of sucks.
Did you ever hear any more about them closing down or whatever?
Yeah, I guess it didn't happen. So they couldn't afford to do that. So.
Yeah.
The problem is all the equipment that we own, that we use out in the field, is actually designed and built by our company as well. So
Oh.
the majority of the gas companies around the country actually buy our equipment
Oh.
in order to do what they do, because we design a lot of the top equipment for that. So
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of a bargaining chip, right?
I guess it would be. Yeah.
Well, it makes the company worth a lot of money if it were to sell, you know? There's a
Right,
lot
they
of
just-
companies that get big enough and not profitable enough, but their equipment and their technology and everything is worth so much money that they get a little greedy.
Well, you know what's crazy is our company makes about $500 million a year, and we only have like 3,000 or 4,000 employees. Really, not that many. Like the amount of employees we have to what we make a year is nothing. We average about $500 million a year revenue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It gets to a point where some companies, and I'm not saying it's in your case, but they start looking at it like it's worth more to sell it than it is to run it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's not a good situation for employees to be in, but
Well, we weren't worried about that. It was just the contract with the specific gas company that we were in the area that we're in. But they finally ordered 5. We have 1,300 vehicles in our fleet, and they finally put an order in like a week and a half ago for 500 new trucks. So they didn't even order enough to replace half the fleet. So they only ordered 500 of them. So I'm hoping that they'll order more. We all need new trucks really bad.
Mike Rennick is here, and so is Dominic, Northside Hawk,
How's it going, guys?
and Filipina is in the chat as well.
Because the
Curtis
problem,
Clark. Good morning, Curtis.
what's up, Curtis?
Hey, come on, Curtis. Dominique,
But,
yeah, you got a head of steam up for a big rank coming. Uh-oh. But last night, no fuckers, get it. I went out to Pinafore Park to watch that drone show.
Oh, how did that go?
Oh, it was cool. It was the first one I've ever seen, but you know what they did was really awesome. I'll play a little bit here that's from the news. I took I got 35 millimeter camera. I can't do, video, just pictures. But anyways, it was really good. But the only one problem with it, like 5 minutes, it was over.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a very long, right? So here,
It's not like a half-hour fireworks.
no, even 10 or 15 minutes would have been a little bit nicer. But anyways, I'll share a little bit of this from the news. But anyways, so here's a Cardinal right here. They have on a stick or whatever. Okay. Oh, hang on. I got to go back. I got to do that. Forgot to do the.
Oh, is this a drone show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had a drone show in his town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine they're not very long because you got to think, man, some of them drones are probably sitting for 10, 15 minutes while they're arming them all up and everything.
So I went from a Cardinal to a train engine here.
Yeah.
But they had some different stuff there. This says here St. Thomas with the logo in it. That was kind of cool last night. But they had one with this. Yeah.
Dude, there's something up with YouTube.
But it was kind of cool last night.
Yeah, that was cool.
There's something up with YouTube and sharing audio lately. It's been doing it on Zoom and StreamYard. The audio doesn't come through. It comes through so low you can't hear it.
See if I
It's got to
go.
be YouTube. Yeah, I think there's something going on with YouTube because there's no reason why StreamYard and Zoom would both be having that issue.
Like I said, I didn't have a video camera, but this is still pictures. This is when they first started coming up. They came up as white. Okay, there was that group there, and then a second group. Then a third group was coming up, and then a fourth one. Then they started doing different stuff, right? But the problem is, when I first started out, I had see, that's where it says St. Thomas. But the problem is, I had telephoto lens on. I had to quickly switch back over to a regular lens. Then I started catching it all. This here was like a stairway or something. I'm not sure what it was. I haven't edited this or nothing yet. But well, that's when I was going to a cardinal, I think. Yeah, that there was started a cardinal, but I was too close. But if I keep going, see now this one here is an elephant. Because St. Thomas was always known for elephants, but it was kind of different ones there. I was trying to zoom in. And this is supposed to be a baseball diamond when it finally got around to it. But yep, right there, the pitcher's plate and the home plate and the stuff here. But it was then somebody swinging a baseball bat. That was kind of cool. I kind of in and out on the photos, but trying to get different perspectives. But then a baseball, it was moving around and turning and all that kind of stuff. So the next one here was hard to see, but this is actually a baseball glove with a ball in the middle.
Well, they had some good equipment there because, that spacing and everything is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and some of the stuff, I don't know what it was, but anyways, that there, I couldn't figure out what the heck that was. I tried backing it out, wondering what it was, but then they were doing things like fireworks or something like this, eh? All the different, then it would turn different colors and stuff, but there was one, yeah, there, then it turns but anyways, but that was last thing.
Was there a lot of people down there?
Not as much as I thought there would be, right? I thought there would be more people there. But it was funny because the game got over and some people left. I thought, oh, gee, you're not staying for the drone show? But it was funny because that one agent I got to go do aerials for today, he texted me last night while I was sitting out there, like, 9:30 or 9:15. I got up to the park and then he texted me about doing aerials and a sign today for him. I said, I'm just sitting out at the park doing a drone show. So there's a drone show going on out at the park. So anyways, next thing you know, he texted me, he's over on the tennis courts. He's over there with his kid watching it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably only get 5 to 8 minutes because they're sitting there arming all those drones.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of them are probably sitting there for 10 minutes and we're just running the battery.
And the lights were really bright on the drone, too. The camera don't depict what happened, So.
I'm sure that drains the juice, too, pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Curtis said he found another issue with Yellow Box. It can't handle 4K input. So I reduced the ROB to 1080. That should help improve the video image. He's going out again Saturday, but early in the morning, going to be 100 degrees this Saturday. Tuesday.
Okay,
I think if
you get to work to find Little Llama Lars in the chat.
I think if he's streaming 1080 60 would be perfect.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really. I mean, you start getting into those really high resolutions too when you're streaming. It kills the shit out of your bandwidth.
Yeah, when you get that production van, Curtis, that'll make it easier for you to move around and take all your equipment with you.
I mean, he almost needs a van anyway, just for doing his working that he's doing with his ROVs anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
He could have a multi-purpose van, you know, for when he's streaming, plus when he's working.
Yeah.
You know, you could get more than one use out of it.
Wayne B, how you doing? Sorry, I missed you earlier.
He almost needs one of those little camper vans, you know, that like the little sleeper vans that people use for doing.
Yeah, with the
you know,
high top on them.
Yeah, the ones that people use to actually, you know, live in, type ones.
With some windows and
Well, yeah, one that could have probably a small generator built in and all that good stuff.
yep. Or at least a nice size inverter.
Right.
Well, we can figure out a lot of ways to spend his money. I will catch you all in the evening. I can hardly hear as on a bus. Okay, Laura, you take care, my dear.
Later, Laura.
On the bus, huh? Hey, Corey Mono, good morning.
Good morning, Corey.
What's this, Curtis says, he has a production pickup truck? Yeah. But need somebody to help him though. Curtis does, he gets everything out.
That's the problem he has. It's so labor intensive for his production purposes.
Yeah.
His friends kind of don't follow through and maybe they don't realize how important them showing up is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you almost need somebody that just runs the production stuff while he's actually, you know,
Yeah.
playing around with the drone and the ROV and all that.
He needs separate ROV pilots, production, and yeah. And if he's going to use a drone, he needs to have a drone pilot, you know, so. Sometimes it's hard to get people involved in that kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm sure Paul would love to have somebody that would be willing to go out and shoot some of his aerials for him when he can't do it.
Yeah.
But how do you find somebody, you know, that you
Yeah.
do it the way you do it? And
Well, the biggest thing too is you got to be making enough money to be able to pay somebody decently enough to live off of to be able to do that kind of stuff.
right,
Or, you know, at least a good side gig for somebody. Because like the problem with, you know, with Curtis at the moment is Curtis isn't making a bunch of money off the live streaming. So pretty much he has to get people to want to volunteer to go out with him.
right.
And that's a big old hassle because, you know, there's no real incentive, I guess, except for just hanging out with, you know what I'm saying, or helping out, I guess. I don't know. If he was actually running like an actual production team that was making big money doing, he'd be able to have professionals that would show up just like a job, you know.
Yeah, I'd say he's far from that position right now.
Well, yeah, none of us are really making any good money off of YouTube anyway, so, or streaming. Most of us are just doing it for fun.
That's exactly right.
Now, if Curtis ended up making, you know, getting some more contracts where he could just do the ROV thing full time,
Yeah.
then it would be worth him, if he was making enough money, it'd be worth him hiring at least one person to, you know, because it wouldn't hurt to even have a production person to do your professional video for you too, to help you out with editing and different things like that. Because trying to do it all yourself, whether you can do it or not, trying to do it all by yourself is a pain in the ass. Takes up all your time.
Yeah,
Because there's professional YouTubers out there that can easily edit their own videos and do everything else, but they just don't have the time to do it. So they hire, some kid to come in and do it for them. Good as Matt is at editing. If Matt was really big, on YouTube, where he was making millions of dollars a year, Matt wouldn't have time to do his videos. He would have to hire somebody to do them for him. He just wouldn't be able to do it. You get caught up doing a bunch of other stuff. So you feeling better this morning, Murray?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. I slept better last night. In fact, I overslept. I didn't get stirring around till almost 8 o'clock. And I ran and jumped and got a shower real fast and got dressed in case I do go to the doctor's office.
Might as well just go and get it over with.
Well, the sad part of it is I'm not sure. I think it's the medication myself that I'm on. I stopped taking the medication a day ago. And so I was better last night. So I'm thinking it's the medication.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You still should go and just have to tweak it. Maybe they just need to tweak the dosage. Sometimes that's all it is they have to find the right combination of dosage and all that. And then it could be one of your.
But the problem with that is, and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it, is I'm too old to be a guinea pig. I don't want to live my life, whatever I have left, as an experiment for some drug company,
Yeah, I feel you.
Paul, have you heard anything about your brother?
No, it'll probably be a little while before I hear anything.
Oh, is he bringing you the camera today?
No, they just rushed him to the hospital about 20 minutes, half an hour ago.
In an ambulance?
Oh, damn.
Actually, we heard it on the police scanner. That's how we found out.
Yeah, you don't know any type of what's might be wrong there?
He's having some breathing problems. That's all I know. I don't know if it's chest pains or what it is, or we don't know for sure.
I thought your brother lived in the U.S.
No. He lives, I don't know, 8-10 blocks from me, if that far.
He comes he comes over here.
So he's got a daughter that lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or just outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, so he just goes back and forth and sees them.
Yeah, goes over and sees them and stuff.
Okay, I thought he lived like right on the other side of the border and he'd come up and visit you.
But the thing is, my brother, he plays pickleball, golf, baseball. I don't know, like he's a lot healthier than I am, but.
Man, that sucks having to hear that shit on the scanner.
Yeah. Wow. We got a little information from the wife while they're waiting for the ambulance, from Karen, but he's having a little bit of trouble breathing. But we heard on the scanner that the fire department showed up too, but they're returning to the station, but the ambulance was going to the hospital. So
it's like being a 911 operator and getting a 911 call from your own house.
Yeah.
Which has happened to people.
Yeah, my blood sugar's up a little bit at 141.
What do you do to get your blood sugar down? You got to eat something or is that to get it up? It's low.
When you intake food, your sugar goes up.
Okay.
Now, there are a few natural that reduce it, and I was told, I don't know for sure, but I was told that one of them is peanut butter.
Oh,
Just be like Mia and put your pills in peanut butter.
Yeah, take a spoonful of peanut butter, wait 15 minutes and take your blood sugar and it comes down. That's what I told.
I'll have Lynn come over and give you your pills and peanut butter. Come here, Paul.
That's it. Take your pills, yeah.
Kelsey was giving Bo peanut butter the other day, man. It was funny. It was all getting stuck in his lips.
There's the Solis, a tanker.
So I got Bo since I have those two huge signposts, those big heavy duty ones,
Yeah,
I ordered Bo one of those heavy duty cables with a pulley on it where he can run back and forth. And they hang off of the, you put them on top of the stakes after I put the poles in the ground.
right.
And it's the cable's up off the ground. And then he can run back and forth. So,
hey, good morning, Ron.
and it's rated for 300 pounds. And he's only about 50 or 60. So, but the cable's rated at 300 pounds. It's a steel cable. It was like it had a top rating at 350.
Okay.
Good morning, Ron.
What was I?
I thought he was in the panel. What's up, Ron? But that's coming on. And then I got him a harness instead of a collar, like a big old heavy duty, like tactical harness.
Yeah, got him a body harness.
Go lay down now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool looking. Kind of looks like a police dog harness. It's got the handle on the back and all that.
Amy, you're a good girl. You're a good girl.
Brass. He pulls back on his collar to try to get his collar off. And there's a couple of times it slipped off of him. He took off running from Kelsey. She had to chase him. We had to chase him down in the car. But he loves going for rides. So the minute he sees the car, he runs right to it.
Well, that's what happened with Mia with that dog fight. She bolted and
Get.
slipped the collar.
Yeah, he absolutely loves to go on for rides in the car. He gets super excited when he thinks he's going for a ride. See, our old dog, man, he didn't like going in the car. He'd get car sick.
Break back ball. I gotta call the drugstore to get a renewal here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get all that set up for Bo this weekend. That way he can go outside and run around in the backyard. I got a 50-foot cable, which is plenty to go from one side of the yard to the other.
Yeah, Curtis, that you hit the nail right on the button. I love to use technology. I don't like to figure it out. I don't like to fix it. And I'm not good at anything other than using the technology as it's designed.
You know,
What's that, Justin? You broke up.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
I said I actually enjoy working on the 3D printers. That is actually fun to do. Like putting that new board in and all that stuff. I actually like doing that.
Wow. Now, see, that would, I couldn't do that because it's like unplug this, unplug that, make sure you get this plug in right, that plug in right. I guess I don't have the confidence in what I'm doing. Especially now that I can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed working on that though. Daisy popped in the chat at all?
AZ has not been in yet. Of course, he's unless David happens to be up early. It's only like 5:35 a.m. out there.
He's been really busy lately too, because he told me the other day he was chats much, I guess, because he's just been busy the last couple of weeks working a lot. If you noticed, he hadn't been in the chats very much.
No, every once in a while he'll stop in and say hello, but he's not there and throughout the whole chat. Yep, I get it. You know, sometimes life happens, you know.
Yeah,
Okay, Curtis, you have a good day at work.
Later, Curtis. Yeah, he's just been busy working. Plus, he's been having hell with that printer he has. He's like, every time I fix it, something else breaks on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe how quiet that printer is now, though. So quiet.
That's kind of like the Mini 3. I can't believe how quiet it is either. I flew it the other day and you talk about stealthy and quiet. Wow. You know, I was impressed with the Mini series all along, but boy, this Mini 3, wow. So quiet. And God willing, if I can, August is the month of Rocking the Rivers, where I used to go down and get video.
Oh, yeah.
The difference is night and day on that printer, though. It's like, you know, taking like a little Honda Civic with an exhaust system and just replacing one computer chip board in there somewhere, and all of a sudden it's quieter than an electric car. Like, that's how big of a difference it is. The only thing you hear is the fan. That's it. The fan's very low. It's not loud at all.
Did Kelsey ever get that job she applied for?
No, they never called her back. But it's she's still a little young, so they might be a little hesitant about wanting to hire her, even though that they say they hire at that age, you know. I'm sure next year, though, it won't be an issue. Because a lot of the places like McDonald's and stuff, they love hiring, you know, 15, 16-year-olds. Because at that age, you don't know how bad McDonald's screws you out of money.
And, you know, like, yeah, here at Tim Hortons, there's a store, and not just one store, but the one store that the other day, the dining room was closing at 4 o'clock and the drive-thru closed at 8 o'clock because of staff shortages. They don't have people to run it. They normally run 7/24, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work. I don't know. There's all kinds of jobs here. And the funny thing that Maple Leaf Foods is opening. They need 1,500 people. And then Amazon is opening here next little while. Like, holy shit, they're going to need a crap load of people. Like,
yeah, it's true, though.
I don't know.
Well, the problem is because there's a labor shortage. All of the people that are working the McDonald's jobs now and Tim Hortons, they're going to go jump to those other jobs because they're going to get paid more money over there.
Yeah, and probably less work too.
Yeah.
There's even jobs See, it's not even just low-paying fields that are short-staffed really bad. Like there's fields that pay really decent money, like mechanics, stuff like that, and even those places have shortages right now. People like the Tire Kingdom that's in my town has like 3 or 4 openings for mechanics. They're starting them off at like 25 an hour or something like that, and they still can't find anybody.
Yep. I got a nephew. I seen him last night for a few minutes, and he's thinking about switching jobs. And like, he's got a specialized job and everything, and the pay's not bad, but he's on a burnout right now because he's just working them all the time. And he booked holidays 4 months ago for a week off, and the company come up to him, "Can you change your plans?" He's, "Well, no, I've already booked it all and everything else and paid for it, for the trip and stuff like that, like they want to even cancel holidays. Like he said he's working 12, 14-hour days. He's getting into a burnout because, he's running a CNC machine for specialty, stairs and doors and railings and stuff like that. He said they can't keep up. They're so busy. Well, all the new construction, right?
Yeah, it's wild stuff going on around everywhere. That's for sure. That's why I said even high end jobs that are I would say upper end jobs, ones that are paying 15 and over an hour, they're even having trouble finding people to fill the positions.
Yeah. Well, back a few years ago, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago, he was doing a job for Shania Twain's house up in north. Was it up north of Barrie or someplace? She had a house up there they were building. Yeah. They do a lot of specialty doors and stuff like that, eh? High-end stuff.
Every generation is going to get a little lazier because technology is making life easier for people. You get what I'm saying? Like, life is easier for me than it was for my grandparents or even my parents.
Oh, yeah.
And life's going to be easier for my kids than it was for me as far as just daily tasks,
Yeah.
I mean, now you don't even have to vacuum your house and have a robot do it. I mean, there's just a bunch of little things that you can have machines do for you now that don't take up half your time anymore. Like there's a lot of places that we're talking about going to 4-day work weeks because they just the production level's a lot more as far as they have a lot more automation going now, so they don't need people there all the time. And just like I said with farmers these days have a lot easier than their grandparents did as farmers because now you can run a big ass farm with just a handful of guys, where you used to have a crew of 30 guys to run a big farm, Now you don't have to have a whole group of guys. Like you can just have 2 or 3 guys to run a huge farm. And I would say each generation is going to get a little lazier, but at the same time, I can't really say it's their fault because they're growing up with that from a baby. They don't know what the previous generation had to do or the generation before that. They're just growing up and living the way that they grew up. I don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely different, but the older you get, though, the problem is you want less change.
Well, see, and another problem is like, technology wasn't advancing like every 100 years, back before the mid-1900s. And now technology has literally ramped up 1,000 times quicker than it ever has in history. So we're having
that 10 years, right?
No, that's what I'm saying is we're having to deal with being integrated with so much new technology so fast that no other generations really ever had to experience. So I think some of the newer kids coming up they don't know how to. I don't know. I guess culture just doesn't know how to respond to it because they say history repeats itself, but as far as technology goes, we're making the history now. There's never been a generation that's as much advanced as the one now.
Yep.
Ooh.
I think we're writing history at the moment. A new page in history. I'll tell you what, the state troopers are on the ball today, man. They passed about 10 of them when people pulled over for speeding.
Yeah.
See, I gotta watch out for the state troopers because they got the commercial enforcement troopers. That's all they do is deal with commercial vehicles.
Oh yeah.
Gotta be careful. You do something stupid around them, they're liable to pull you over real quick. The regular cops, they don't really pay attention to like people like me very much. I can go ripping up on the sidewalk at 30 miles an hour and they don't care. Sheriffs and the local. Do what? Oh, what's
Ron
up, Ron?
is on the panel.
Hey, good morning, guys.
We're not going to be on all that long this morning, Ron, but Paul's got to go someplace and I got to go someplace.
I got
Yeah,
two
I got
aerials.
someplace too.
I got two aerials. One I couldn't do yesterday, and the last one came off at 9:15 last night. So
How you feeling, Paul Murray?
I was doing fine this morning and then I'm starting to fade now and I just had a pain shoot right up the back of my neck and up into my head. So I don't know.
You have a doctor's appointment or?
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
Good. Good.
And I stopped taking their medication
What was that?
that was
because
a water,
it
water pill, wasn't it?
it was screwing me up. Tramaterarin HCTZ,
It's some kind of diuretic.
and the other one was lisinopril.
The Cinepril is the hypertensive med.
Anyway, it was screwing my system up. I was just screwing me up. I stopped taking it yesterday. I didn't take yesterday's dose, and I feel better today.
I recently changed from lisinopril to valsartan. It is an antihypertensive. In other words, it's for your blood pressure, but it's easier on your kidneys. It doesn't have some of the potential dangerous side effects that lisinopril has.
Yeah.
So valsartan, mention that to your doctor.
Valsartan.
See if he, would recommend that one. That's the only medication I've ever taken all my life, but
Right, now the state troopers behind me.
Oh, probably wants to know why you're driving around with your lights going.
Do what?
You probably wants to know why you're driving around with your lights going.
Oh, wait, never mind. That was the local police officer. I'm allowed to drive with my lights on. They don't care about that. I just let him pass me. He looked like he was in a hurry. So. Yeah, but I'm constantly pulling off of highways and stuff like busy highways. So they don't really bother us. I've had state troopers, sheriffs from multiple counties, local police from multiple cities behind me, and they've never given me an issue. So.
Ron, how do you spell that, Valsartan?
VALSARTIN. And the other name for it also is losartan. I noticed Night Train said he's on it. It's kind of somewhat the same.
One of them's probably a generic one.
Yeah.
But
And
you
that
know,
one
some
is
insurances-
LOSARTIN.
Yeah, because some of the, you know, how some insurance companies, they make you get the generic version.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I didn't realize this till not long ago that the Cinepro has some nasty little side effects, potential side effects. One was that patient I had a few months back. It's what they call an ACE inhibitor. And one of the side effects of that is that they can cause what they call angioedema. In other words, her whole airway just went swelled up, and it can happen a month after you get it, 6 years after you get it, start using it. But that's one of the side effects of it, and that's what happened to her. And her airway almost completely swelled shut. And so I talked to it was funny, the first time I met my new doc, I had talked to him about that. He's like, you seem to know a lot. He said, what do you do for a living? I told him, you know. But so yeah, he gladly changed it on me.
Hey, if you guys ever want to go house shopping in Florida, I can get you into any private community. I got all the gate codes for all the private communities. I can take you on a tour of some of the neighborhoods with like $10 million homes.
Wow. Well,
That
there's
one neighborhood that I go to, they actually hire ex-cops as their security, and they're all armed inside. And there was like $10 million homes in there. And you have to be an ex-cop in order to be one of their security guards.
well, when you win the big lottery, you can jump right on that.
Did you see the lottery was up to $1 billion here in Florida?
Yep.
Billion. Jesus.
Yeah, it's up to $1 billion. Nobody's won it.
It's the Mega Millions. It's not just Florida, it's Mega Millions.
Right, right. But yeah, if you win, so you take 33% of that off, and then that's what you would get. So you'd
Yeah,
probably end up.
you'd have to, Ron, you'd have to figure out how to live on $660 million.
That's tough. I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, did Night Train find a new place?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
He said he had to borrow a little bit of money from his boss to make up the difference of what he didn't get from the GoFundMe. But he was able to get the GoFundMe money and then a little bit from his boss to make up the difference, and they were able to get a house. Yep, he's all good. His biggest concern now is just getting a refrigerator.
It's scary renting anymore. You know, like I said, it happened to me last year. You know, it happened to Mike.
Now, Dave and Laura.
Yeah, look at Dave and Laura.
Did you hear what happened to Mike though? He was telling the story the other day. Like, you know how shit's already hit him hard with losing his house and his shoulder surgery and being out of work. One of his good friends that that worked at the bar across the street had a damn aneurysm like a week ago, and she was only 42 years old and died from it.
Oh shit!
And then he had to put his
You just broke up.
He had to put his dog down.
Oh Jesus!
And I think his dog was like 12 or 14. I think he said.
Yeah.
I guess
I saw it on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. When the shit hits, it hits. So I'll tell you what.
I say it comes in threes, at least.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I said. When shit hits the fan, it hits the fan, right? One thing after another.
I wish there was something that I could do for David and Laura, but
Yeah, I was trying to make heads or tail trying to understand that last night, the way he was explaining it.
Well,
David,
he said that it,
they've been in the house for 11 years and they took it from being a dump into a nice house. They did all the renovations out of their pocket, you know, and got it fixed all up. And the landlord's son, which is he's a lowlife, doesn't have a place to live. They're kicking them out so the son can come and live in that house.
and they think that he's only doing that because he wants to bring his son in for a couple months, and then his son will leave, and then he can hike the rent up because all the rent around there is going up. And I guess he's using. They think he might be using that as an excuse to be able to hike the rent up for a new renter. But to see, the problem is David and Laura said money's not the issue. As far as moving, it's just nobody wants to rent to him because of his disability, and him and Laura are not technically working because Laura gets paid to take care of David from the government. And so they're almost like discriminating against him because of his disability, and they don't want to rent to him because of it, is what he was saying.
I didn't know he was disabled.
Usually people with disabilities got government checks, so usually they don't have a problem with rent because guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they want 3 times. They almost, it's almost the same thing as I was having issues here, where they want like 3 times whatever the rent is. You have to make that, and I don't think that they quite make that.
Yeah.
Is another issue.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
because-
Paul, I gotta run, guys. So because I gotta be over and fly here shortly. So
all right, I'll just see you later.
yeah, I got 2 aerials to do, and I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see if that third one was going to come up, but I haven't heard nothing on it. So.
Everybody have positive thoughts for Paul's brother. He was.
I just got an update,
Okay.
and well, he's had a lot of problems with kidney stones, right? But they figured it's his bladder. He just doubled over in pain, sweating, throwing up. So he couldn't move or nothing, so they had to call an ambulance for him.
Oh shit.
5 kidney stones again. So he's had a hell of a trouble with that. They said that one time there they did some work on it. It was like a gravel pit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Aren't there some cases where they actually have to surgically go in and remove them because there's too many?
Not yet, anyway. So.
Yeah.
But-
Well, we'll keep him in our thoughts, Paul.
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, I'll see you. Like I said, I got to run. So.
See
Okay.
you, Paul.
Yep. Bye, guys. Okay, where's the button? There we go.
Hey,
Bye,
there's
Dominic.
I thought I'd get on as Paul was getting off.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul's got to go and do some aerials.
Dominic, you always look bundled up. It must be cold where you're at.
Yeah, it is.
He looks like a
He
pimp in
looks
that
like
thing.
Nanook of the North, doesn't he? Except I guess we call it Nanook of the South. He's
Yeah.
you're in southern Australia, which is
Yeah,
winter.
No, he looks
the northern suburbs of the southern part of mainland Victoria.
he looks like a pimp. I'm just waiting for his gold chain to come out of him.
Yeah, I'll just get them out from under my clothing then.
Gold change. Yeah, yeah.
I got to stop at the post office later and drop these envelopes off.
Well, for as much as I love dogs, there is one dog that I'm pretty certain there's a campground right up behind me, and people come in here and camp during the summer, and some of them let their dogs run loose. Well, this is the second morning in a row that I've had it, and that dog went home with a few more colors. I have a paintball gun, and he was chasing my rabbit and my deer this morning, and he come right on the side of the porch, and I lit him up. So he's got some blue, some red, some green. He's going to go home with a few colors, but I don't
Did he
think
go
he'll be
running back home?
Yeah, he ran back up to the campground. It's like, you know what, people, keep your dog in check. If you're going to come down
Did
here.
Did he try to bite you or something too, or?
No, he's coming around,
Uh.
he's chasing my deer and my rabbit. He damn near caught the rabbit.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if he was like being aggressive towards you. Too.
No. So I just stood off of the porch, pulled out the paint. I have the paintballs I have are multiple colors. So he has a few, he's got to go home with a few more colors on him and a sore ass. Well, but he'll think twice about coming down here and chasing my deer.
My dad used to put rock salt in the. He used to take 20 gauge shotgun shells and empty them out, and put rock salt in them for when the coyotes would come in the yard.
Mhm.
And he'd pop them in the ass with that.
They think twice about coming back to visit.
Yeah, coyotes didn't like that too much. It didn't hurt them. I mean, it hurt them, but not. It wouldn't kill them. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad wasn't trying to kill him, but he was just trying to let them know, hey, don't come on my property.
I would think that rock salt would penetrate their fur, their skin, wouldn't
It probably could.
it?
Got
And
enough
it'd be
power.
like salt in a wound.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but sometimes he would be, 50, 60 yards from these coyotes. He wouldn't be right up on them. So, I mean, it would hit them, but it wouldn't. I don't think it really ever did any damage like that. But like I said, he wasn't out to try to kill him or anything,
Team Danzer, how you doing?
That wasn't either. I just don't appreciate it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And plus, you don't want a coyote running up on you if you have like a friggin', like you were using a paintball gun or something. May not deter a wild ass coyote.
Oh, I don't know, those paintball guns.
The sound of a shotgun going off is a whole different story.
Well, the thing of it is the people that should be paintballed are the owners of the dog.
Exactly.
So has the dog been a nuisance for a while, or is it just a random dog that came from the campground?
This is the second time I've seen them in 2 days. Like I said, that campground it's literally 200 yards up behind me. It's like almost like a B&B type place. It's right across from the store. That people come in there and they just bring their campers, and they spend the summer here at the lake. And like, you know what? Keep your dog in check. Don't
Well,
be
you shouldn't
racing
be
on
letting
other
your dog
people's
run.
properties.
Well, you shouldn't be letting your dog run around a campground anyway, because what if somebody else's dog is out, They got it
Exactly.
tied up or something.
Or a small child or whatever,
Yep.
know?
I mean, it looked like
That's
a
why-
friendly dog, but I don't give a shit. Don't become.
Well, that's why
pets.
When I was in Fort Meade, like a week ago, I saw a lady. She come out of her house, and I was parked in front of her house, and there was a pit bull about 100 yards down the road just running loose. And she comes out with these two little ankle biters. I said, ma'am, you might want to go back in your house. She said, why? I said, because there's a big, huge pit bull running around down at the end of the street here, loose. And she goes, oh, crap. And just grabbed her dogs and drug them back in the house. I was like, yeah, you don't know what that dog might do. It might be friendly with other dogs, or it might go ape shit and kill your dogs,
Yeah. It's like Mia. Mia's perfect with people, kids, or whatever else. But you can bring another dog around. Oh no.
See, Bo, he doesn't even pay attention to other animals.
What people
Yeah,
don't
no.
realize here in Wyoming, if you got any kind of animal that is a danger, a threat to you, it's on your property. And even though like mountain lion, you need a hunting license and a tag for mountain lion, but if they're on your property and threaten, you're allowed to shoot them.
I think that's pretty standard in most places. It's like if a dog ran on my property here and tried to bite me or something, I could shoot it. The sheriff's department wouldn't do anything about it. Because, I mean, even if you there's been cases here where people have walked out on the street and shot a dog because it was attacking somebody, and the cops didn't care. Like, you protected. You know what I'm saying? If there's a vicious dog on the loose and it's trying to attack people, you don't necessarily even have to be on your property. You can take it down as long as you do it safely,
Hey, Mike B, how you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Just use a 22. I have a .22 rifle. And if you use what they call a .22 short, it's the casing's a lot smaller than a regular .22. They're
Oh, yeah.
silent as hell. Do the same job, but very quiet. Nobody would hear anything. I don't want to get to that point, but
Well, I wouldn't do that unless the dog was being aggressive.
yeah.
I think what you did was appropriate measure.
Well,
Because there are some people that would come out, and shoot a dog like you had, a really sweet dog that just happened to walk on their yard, and they wouldn't even give them a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the interesting thing is going to be, Ron, is if the dog comes back again.
Yeah, I think, well, the reason they use the paintball gun is it'll send a message. They see their dogs like, because that stuff stains.
Yep.
So they're
Right,
going
like
to think somebody shot my dog with a paintball gun.
Well, like I said, you didn't do anything that injured the dog in any serious way. It just got your message across.
Yeah.
Now, if you just walked out your door and the dog wasn't being aggressive and you just blasted it away with a 12 gauge or something, that'd be one thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's
But like I said, if a dog comes up to you, if a freaking 100-pound Rottweiler ran up on you and tried to bite you or something, then you take the appropriate measures at that point. But if a dog's, like I said, there's people out there that a dog, like I said, your little sweet golden retriever that you have, that you can just look at the pictures and tell that dog wasn't aggressive.
yeah.
There's people that would shoot a dog like that just for walking on their property. They wouldn't even give them a chance.
That's like my neighbor right up above. They have a Newfoundland. God, that thing's freaking huge. But just
Yeah, some of those photos of people, especially, like ladies that are probably 90 pounds and that dog's got his paws on her shoulders, it's like, wow.
he comes down to visit once in a while. He's gotten to know me now, and he'll stop down, and sometimes he'll bring his ball down, and we have like a common ground in between us, and I'll go out there and play ball with him once in a while. And, I don't mind that.
Well, how is the dog over at the party at the party store or whatever
Layla, she's good. I'll see her this morning. Yeah. I'm getting a little angry with my tree guy. He called or texted me last night and needs to cancel again. It's like, come on, dude. So Terry wants me to work at the store this morning, and I don't know.
Well, don't burn yourself out. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I did that yesterday. I'm feeling it today. Like I said, it's about 75 yards down. The previous owner put, I guess they call it 1-inch stone for the driveway.
Yeah.
And I built that retaining wall here right beside my porch. I had another guy locally here that gave me an estimate. There's some other areas here that I want to put stone in, but I figured I'd use that down there. It's like, why does he have some of that going into the field? So I gathered all that extra stone and used it for the decorative stone up here. I don't have my phone with me to show you, but anyhow, it was a 75-yard jaunt, and I'd fill up that. It's like a garden wagon, but I'd fill that thing up, and I know that thing weighed several hundred pounds, and I'd have to drag it up. My street has got about a
Uphill, yeah, I noticed that.
6-8% grade, and by the time I get up here, I'm like, holy crap! And I'd shovel it in there and go back down, shovel more, and I did that for like 6 hours yesterday, and I was feeling it last night. My head was actually throbbing. It was hot. Previous owner put a lot of stone down, but he didn't put the underlayment, the weed barrier.
Yeah.
So its weeds are growing right up through. So I'm doing all that. I just hate a bunch of weeds. That just invites mice and snakes, and I don't need that here.
Yeah.
You don't they do make a natural weed killer that you can put on there and kill it off.
Oh, I've been spraying the shit. I've got this stuff at, I went to the hardware store about a month ago and I asked him, I said, what's the nastiest, ugliest stuff you got? He goes, right here. If it's green, it's dead. I'm like, okay. It's a concentrate. You only mix like 3 ounces per
You just want to
gallon.
be careful that you don't kill your friends, you know, like Thumper and
Yeah, it's just in the retaining wall areas where I'm spraying it, that and the driveway, and he usually eats in the yard.
because Lynn was telling me that you can actually make an all natural weed killer. And she says it works great. I said,
Really?
yeah, you mix it up yourself and put it in a sprayer,
Oh,
and
shit.
within a day they're dead.
I'd like to get that recipe from her.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd share it with you. But what she told me says you can go online on YouTube, and the people have showed you how to make an all natural weed killer.
Oh, really?
I didn't know they had such a thing, a recipe.
I didn't either. 'Cause
And
that stuff's expensive, that concentrate.
Yeah,
It's $20-$30.
yeah. This one has one of the ingredients I know is, of course, water and Dawn dish soap, because that's what causes it to stick to whatever you spray it on, and then
Right.
whatever else in the baking soda or I don't know.
Be interesting. Well, hey guys, I better get moving. I gotta get a shower and be up there by 8 o'clock. So
Yeah, I probably maybe should do the same.
yeah, talk to your doctor about that, but just to see what I'm not saying do it, but mention that particular medication to him and see if he would prefer that for you. I just don't like lisinopril.
Well, I you know, and there's a lot of reasons that it may not be the medication, but that's the one major change in my life that I've had is the medications. And so that makes me, but that's because my legs are swollen, but now my legs aren't as swollen as they were. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Sarah is in the chat.
Hey, Sarah. All right, guys. Everybody have a good day.
Okay, Ron, you take care.
Take care now. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Later, Ron.
See ya.
Sarah's checking up on you, Justin.
Yeah.
I got my camera off. She don't know where I'm at.
She's tracking your cell phone.
Hmm.
Sarah couldn't even figure out how to turn my computer on last week, so I doubt she's tracking my cell phone.
That's what you think. Gotta remember, Sarah is Sarah. She can do a lot more. She doesn't let everybody know all of her attributes, but they're there. You can always tell. You can always tell a lady that is more intelligent than they are that says, "Oh, I didn't know that," or "I don't know if I could do that," or no, they deflect.
I gotta go to a gas station.
Petrol station.
Boy, the water is blue today down there, isn't it?
Looks lovely.
Oh, it is. And the sad part of it is, although that live here in town, I would say the vast majority of them, they don't even look up anymore because they're so used to it, you know? Check his browser history. Getting all kinds of help in the chat to help Sarah track you.
Okay.
So what time's your appointment at?
What I'm afraid of is if I go to the doctor, they're gonna order a whole bunch of more tests. He has his doctor's office in addition to next to the hospital. It's in the same parking lot. So they just write all these test things up and say, yeah, just go over here to the hospital.
Mm.
And you know what it's like when you go to the hospital, hurry up and wait.
Yeah, you've got to wait, then you've got to go to another room, then you've got to wait, and you've got to
Yep.
go to a different department, then you've
Yep.
got to go to another room and in a different department,
Exactly.
and then you know
And
several
then
hours go
when
past.
they're all done, they say, they don't tell you anything. They just say, yeah, well, we'll send the results to your doctor.
Yeah. Okay. I want to collectively ask the chat.
Searching for a phone to connect to. During this time, audio will be muted. Would you like to continue?
No.
How many? We've still got 12 people in the chat, so I just wanted to throw a few ideas that I need to bounce off a few of you people here. So I'm going to put a link in the chat, and it talks about Parks Victoria, which is the governing body here for all the national parks. And I was on Instagram earlier today and noticed that Parks Victoria were, you know, posting some really lovely photos. And then I put a comment in there, and they, you know, replied to the comment. And it just says, you know, thanks for reaching out. Recreational use of remotely piloted aircraft systems by the general public is prohibited on Parks Victoria managed land. And then they just give a, you know, a whole essay to the reply on Instagram. And it's just absolutely childish the way they go about it.
Yep. Well,
And,
there's a lot
now
of
you've got to
places
get
in the
this-
world that are not,
you know, if-
they don't get it. They don't understand it. You know, you say drone, they automatically think about the big military drones, you know.
yeah. You know, it's just
But
a,
you guys could fly national parks over there, Dominic.
no, we can't.
That's what Matt and Tim told me they could. Unless it's
Well,
just
I
certain
don't know
areas
about
that-
Queensland. I'm only going, I don't know about Queensland. I'm only going about the link. Oh, you can't see the link, Justin, but there's a link in the chat that talks about Parks Victoria, which is obviously different to Parks
Yeah, 'cause
Queensland or whatever.
it might be a state regulation because
Yeah.
it's Victoria.
Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
in Queensland, Matt said you could fly to national parks there.
Yeah, not if you have to jump through so many hoops down here because we are a nanny state, and you basically, if you go through all the hoops, you have to have this, you have to have that, then you have to have documentation, then they have to sign it in triplicate. It requires 20 business days, and then you've got to pay a fee of at least $200 or $300. And on top of that, they say they can't guarantee you any space in there as well. So
Yeah, that's about that's about the way Canada is. In order for an American to go to Canada and fly, you have to apply to Transport Canada 90 days in advance. You have to make a deposit of $150, and then it's non-refundable. And then you have to answer all kinds of questions, you have to tell them within 15 minutes, time square, what your flight time and how long you're going to be in the air.
Yeah, I looked at the, because in that link, there's also a link to the application form, and it's got like 15 pages of it.
Yep.
You know what I like about the European test you have to take before you go over there is that it covers all the countries except for the UK, obviously.
Yeah, the UK are a different. The UK are bound by the CAA.
Well, they
I've
did.
watched-
The license used to cover the UK, but after they did the Brexit,
Yeah,
they're no longer included in that. But it's
Yeah, because
free
you've got-
and you can take it online.
yeah, because you've got the CAA, which is the UK, and then you've got EASA, which is the European one. And I've watched various YouTube videos from Tech Drone Media, Henrik, I think he's in Sweden or Denmark, I'm not sure, or the Netherlands, I'm not sure, but he's in the he does some really great videos that discuss European conditions, and then you've got Sean from Gigsvana that does the UK one. But what really annoys me and what I really want to push towards is the really putting out, and Matt could easily help as well, but I'm just saying there needs to be better quality that educates Australians to what is really going on, because we've got one really good one. We've got one really good YouTuber by name of Dan Davis, and he puts out some great videos, but he doesn't really put out the videos that discuss the actual rules themselves, and that's what really frustrates me.
Well, see, this is the problem, though, too, Dominic, because we have that same issue over here. One, a lot of these government agencies that deal with like drone rules and stuff like that, they don't really have the money to put PSA stuff out there for people. And the drone community, and usually the only people that are watching the whole videos about the rules and stuff are usually new pilots. Like the general public doesn't go on YouTube and look up, oh, what's the drone rules? Because they don't really think about it unless they're in a situation where they may think that there's some kind of legal issue or something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same thing over here. Oh, go ahead.
Because the ones that I've looked up, there are some really great people over there. I had a conversation over email with a guy by the name of Ryan La Tourette, and I sent him an email, and I was surprised that he actually replied to it. So I was happy about that. But there's no real, in inverted commas, drone lawyers over here. I've spoken to one, and they gave me sort of like a little handbook, and I've learnt from that. But most of the stuff that I learnt is from 99% of the videos are from the US, and there's you've got some really great talent over there, and we've hardly got it. But maybe it's because we're always late to everything over here. So.
Well, think about it too. You got a lot smaller market, right? Because your entire population is smaller than some of the U.S. states.
26.
Florida's got
26
more people
million.
in the state of Florida than you guys do in the whole country. So
yeah.
You
20,
just have a lot smaller group of flyers and everything.
Yeah, 26 million. But CASA, which is the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, our FAA, have stated there's 1 million of them out there.
That's bullshit.
I know that.
In Australia, you might have a couple 100,000.
I would say, no, I would say going by what I've seen on YouTube and everything else that I've spoken to, and the Victorian Drone Flyers Facebook group, there's only 4,000 in there. And we've got 6 states and 2 territories, and when you multiply that out, even if you multiply that out and add for variances in the sizes of each state, I'm lucky to, you're lucky to get, 10, 15,000. And
Well, that's the
everybody's
thing,
going on
too.
about, oh, you should do this or you should do that.
Well, that's the thing too, is like the FAA over here counts it as how many drones have been sold.
Yeah.
So if there's 100,000 pilots and 50,000 of them have 6 or 7 drones, now all of a sudden there's 500,000 drones in the air, when in reality it's only like a quarter of that, because like I said, they're only going by how many drones have been registered and sold.
Yeah.
And the FAA doesn't even know how many drones have been sold. They're going by registration. So
Yeah.
like Paul has like 86 fucking registrations on his DJI account. So they're counting that as that's 86 drones in the air.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
when really in the reality it's just one pilot with a multiple drones.
Yeah, as I said, you could, I reckon you could count them on the hands of a short-sighted butcher, honestly, because the ones that I've seen going through the larger live streams, you'll see, 10, maybe 15. And I've gone through, strenuously on YouTube because I had a lot of time during our lockdowns down here in the last 18 months, where we couldn't move anywhere and we just had to sit at home. And I was watching 8 hours of YouTube a day, trying to learn everything. And then when you try and find it, as I said, I found, I think, 5 or 6? And only one of them has there's one, as I said, Dan Davis has got 34,000. And Aaron Rajamani, who's another chap who lives in Melbourne, who's got 30,000. And then under that, you've got all the other ones that have got, several hundred. Up
Well, and
to
you gotta remember,
Matt's
too, those-
1,000.
The majority of their subscribers aren't even in Australia. Most of them are in the
Yeah.
Asian country, America.
Yeah, I know. Most of, because I just hit my 100 subscribers today, and I looked at all the analytics, and 90, I think 80% in the US, and I'm starting to get pretty big in India for some reason.
Yeah, India, and some of the Asian countries. I think Thailand, and there's a couple Asian countries that if you get into if you happen to catch their interest, your channel will blow up because they're very into drones. And I want to say it's like Thailand and like Vietnam.
Yeah, well, Thailand. Yeah, I seem to have got a few from Thailand as well. And I've just posted a few shorts because I thought I'll try the shorts out, and shorts has really blown everything up. I'm getting 700 or 800. I'm getting 700 or 800 views on just shorts, doing 15-second clips, and they're blowing up to 700 and 800 views, which is way more than any of the other videos that I've done.
Dominic, I put a short out. I usually do really good on them. I put one of my comedy shorts out, and literally within 12 hours had over 13,000 views.
Well, I put one up. I put one up about 5 hours ago, and I'm already on 700. And I hadn't even had 700 views in everything before that.
All right, guys, I gotta jump off.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I
I'll
think
continue.
we're gonna close it down, I think, Dominic.
No worries.
And thanks everybody for being here. It was an interesting conversation, and thank everybody that participated. And I feel bad about closing it down with so many people. Actually,
No, that's all right. You go off and go to your appointment, have a rest and a sleep maybe, and we'll continue on on our next stream.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, everybody, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again tonight, this evening, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow morning for me. So
Yep, there you go. Dominic, take care. Everybody in the
yeah,
chat.
well.
Flying with Stan,
Okay.
sorry we missed you. Everybody, take